This is an AliExpress package. I don't understand what they're doing. There's an original and a pasted over label on both sides. This is the CN22. This is the return address. And it supposedly contains one milling cutter, value $27.89. It looks like a 4, 5, 7, and 10 millimeter carbide end mill. And I think the overall length is 3 of them are 75 and one of them is a 60. And you can see that it is shorter by something. It's an extremely sharp end cutting end mill. A pieced together seller's page. They call themselves BB Official Store. And these four, taken as a unit, cost $74. So this one is 10. That's this one. Costs $24.50. And this is a 5, which would be this fellow here. $22. A 4, which is this. Now this is a really long cutting flutes are only 18 millimeter. That fellow cost $8. And then I guess we should look at this one. This is this will be the 7 millimeter, cost $16. But I want to show you something about the 7. It has an 8 millimeter shank on it and a 7 millimeter cutter. It'll be hard to tell. This package is from Wi-Fi Expert, Valencia, California. And I hooked up with them through eBay. These are just two 4-inch long male by bulkhead connectors. They cost me $7 a piece, and they came from, as the return address said, Wi-Fi Underline Expert. This next package is an eBay brokered package. I've started using SMA connectors again. Looks like 4 male to female. These are bulkheads, except there's no hardware supplied for them. I'll make that 5. These are a bunch of right angle SMA connectors. Okay. Here are some bulkhead connectors that are soldered by SMA. They're actually, well, no, there is a flange, fixed flange. So there's one loose nut. It's supposed to be panel mount. Has a grounding connection, a lug. And then the other end is an SMA connector. Here's the hardware for these connectors that I thought had no hardware. And then these are some 5.5 by 2.5 millimeter loose male ends. So these 4 different items were sold by Feng Gang 18 at a total cost of $56.50. You see these right angle connectors cost 89 cents a piece. The 5 SMA panel mount connectors cost $1 a piece. Let's see. 5 jumper connectors, a total of $15.10. And the male by male right angle plugs were 10 for $15, or about $1.50 a piece. This is an AliExpress package. And what it is a kit. Connectors go on like this. The center pin's soldered at the top. 2 of the grounding pins are soldered at the bottom, and the upper 2 are left floating. So we end up with a thing that looks like this. So assembled, it will look like this with 2 pins here and here. If you think of this thing as a single pole double throw switch that has 2 coils, one coil pulls it this way, the other coil pulls it this way. The 2 coils each have one winding connected to ground or common. When I energize one of these pins, it pulls the relay this way or this way. If it's not energized, it needs to be grounded. Takes that coil out of play, and that's accomplished by jumpering these pins together. This is AliExpress's page. The kit cost $3.50, included these parts. Underneath this metal cover is an integrated circuit. That's the part number. And although these are labeled in and out, remember it's a single pole double throw switch. It could be 2 ins and 1 out. So I bought 4 of these at $3.50 a piece and $1.34 shipping charge. This package came from a domestic seller out of Farmersville, Texas. And what I've got is 10 of these push to reset panel mount circuit breakers, and they're 10 amps. I intend to use these for my low voltage power distribution system. These cost $2 a piece, $20 for 10, and $4.25 shipping for the entire 10. And this is the seller. This is also an eBay package. Came from Danny in California. And it should be very simple. A 10 dB attenuator. And although the return address was Danny, the eBay seller was Annette 9252, and they called us 6 gigahertz attenuator. $8 free shipping. I don't really know what's in this package. We'll find out. This is a boost-only power supply. A DC to DC step-up device. This is the eBay seller's page. It was a fairly expensive device, $14. Input of 3 to 35 volts, output of 5 to 40 volts. At some condition, it will provide 5 amps. This is the seller. Now, I don't get very many packages from Taiwan anymore. All the Taiwan packages have dried up like 15 years ago. And they're beginning to come from communist China instead of the good boys. One hell of an address. And it clearly says what they are. Now these are PC mount card edge connectors. And I'm hoping that they will fit this power supply. And they will. They will fit, they're just really tight. So I wanted to use this in my low voltage distribution system. This particular power supply has already been modified to provide 13.8 volts. Now I would have preferred leaded style connectors, but I think I'll have to make do with these. And these came via eBay. 5 pieces, $1 a piece, but $12 shipping. From this fellow here. eBay. Appears to be 4 of these. It's fully encapsulated there, covered with a conformal coating. I'll let you read that because I don't know what it means. What it is a 4-outlet USB power supply. Apparently it will accept 18 to 35 volts. I'm guessing this might be an output rather than an input. Okay, this is the seller's notes, and I see an 8 amp, which would make sense, 2 amps a piece. Except on the back it does say $10A. Each one costs $366. I want to include some USB outlets in my low voltage distribution system. And it's a toss-up between using a couple of these and a couple of other ones that I have on order. 4 output USB supply, probably 2 amps a piece. It costs $4 a piece when you say, now the $3 shipping was across the board, but say that's $1. Around $4 a piece. The seller was this guy. I believe this is another package from Alice. I have some of these little Piranha boards. I'm not sure what voltage. I guess I could look at the label. I'm guessing they're 5 volt and there's 12 LEDs. I've got 2 of these USB 4 outlet USB supplies. Now 2 of these are actually smarter for later model USB devices. But I think they're only rated 1.5 amps. And then I have a bag of these. These are color-coded caps for the Chinese push buttons. Now, all of this stuff did come from Alice, except I did not see this little fellow. I ordered 2 of these. I don't know what they are. They look like they're lights to be plugged into a USB socket. But we have the Piranha lights, and there are 5. I counted them. They are 3 to 5 volt, 12 LED lamps. They were about $2 a piece. The USB supplies were $6 a piece. And the 140 pieces of colored push-button caps were $2.50 for the bag. Anyway, the total on this came to $43.28. The last thing I have is fairly long, rectangular, and it came via AliExpress. And it's one of these. This is a free-floating handguard for an AR-15 clone. It has a clamp-on fixture that engages the barrel nut. And it also appears to have places for quick disconnect swivels. A numbered interrupted rail system. A hex wrench to fit these 3 clamping screws, and a couple of shims so that I can time this nut. Once these are loosened, the nut slides free of the handguard. It's got a knurled surface, standard military style wrenching system. Whenever this is timed correctly, there's little teeth that engage it here, so it doesn't depend on this clamp to time it. Doesn't take much to lock it. As I said, this came from AliExpress. It's their OHunt brand, and it's marked OHunt, and it costs $40. This is the 15-inch model.